Ken, your mic ain't on. Ken, you think you good with the mics now, huh? Talk about it.
You know what it is.
I'm done. What up? What up? Nice. Did you feel when I thumped you in the head?
I felt that.
You live again over there?
I felt that.
Are you live again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know we had a little hiccup.
We did?
Yeah, they like to cut us off. We be going too hard on the turntables.
Oh, they turned off like what on Facebook, IG? Which one?
I heard both.
Both?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Well,
IG and
they
Facebook.
said they supposed to be cracking down come October 1st or something like that. So I don't
They give
know.
us enough time for what we working on.
Yeah,
That's
we got something to work. So,
Yeah.
dang, y'all don't have to cut us off though. Jesus Christ,
On somebody's favorite song, right?
they be cutting us off. Sean said people been making. What happened? You called me
Oh,
today?
so
He was
yes,
on fire.
we have to address this, man. Everybody that's listening right now, I'm gonna need y'all to use your strong part of your brain, because we're already. No, I got to keep it 100. Because we're already on Fantasia's Facebook page. So if you're on her page, and then another Fantasia page says, "Congratulations, you've won. Go to my page to claim your prize." The smart part of your brain will kick in and say, "I'm already on her page." Right? So don't go click on that link, and definitely do not, and I'm going to say that slow, do not put your credit card information on nothing.
Oh,
It
wait,
is
they were putting
2020.
their credit card.
Yes.
Okay, so and Sean called me fired up. Him and his wife.
Yes.
I was in Michael's working on a little project, and I was like, Sean, what's wrong? He's like, yo, listen, you know he from B-More, so it was coming out. He was like, Lisa just told me, and I told Ken, he was like, yeah, we got to thank God that we have brothers and sisters who really love us and look out for us. And I was telling him it happens a lot, but it is true, you guys. Like, please don't fall for crazy stuff, because it's hard times right now. People are just doing crazy stuff with your information. So, yeah, I'm glad we brought that up. Don't do it. You on live with us. This is the only page I have. It ain't no more out there, so don't fall for it. Yeah. Okay? And then I want to salute my king for doing the Taylor Talk tonight, because he lost his grandmother on Sunday, and he flew out to Mississippi to be with. Shout out to all our Mississippi family.
What's good?
To be with the family and to try to say goodbye to grandmother before she crossed on over. And so I asked him, "Do you want to cancel?" And he's like, "Nah, I don't want to cancel. I'm gonna come back home and we're gonna do the Taylor Talk, and then we'll go back out and be with we're gonna try our best to get with the family for the service." So salute to you for doing that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, that's a nice.
Oh, that's okay.
like
Wait,
that.
who? So is that that's me? Oh, that's cute. The chimes. Okay.
Nah, I just had this thing about myself. Well, number one, you can't digest the scriptures every day, and then when God does what He says He's gonna do, you jump right back into a natural state. Not saying that it's not easy. Yeah. You can mourn, you can grieve, but you also have to know that in that moment of loss, there's so many things to give Him praise and glory for. So, just to take a quick second, I lost contact with my family back when I was, forgive me, I never knew my father. He left before I was 1 year old. But when I turned 13, my mom asked me, did I want to fly out to Mississippi? First time I ever got in a plane. I don't even know how she afforded it. Now I understand how money works and what she was making. But long story short, flew out there, met him. There was no connection. I never heard from him again. So I never knew any of that part of my family. I still got two brothers out there, Chris and Ennis. I have two brothers out there I've never met before, Chris and Ennis. So my father died. I chose not to go to the funeral. You know what I mean? I only regret it just because I could have made some connections, but I was young. I was hurt, whatever. Long story short, I come home one day, and my wife is like, you want to talk to your grandma? So I'm thinking, what is you talking about? And she went on her own and went through this whole process of trying to track down my family, going through all these family trees, all this kind of stuff. And I got in touch with my grandmother about 3 years ago, and we were just tight ever since. And, you know, she would love on me and try to help me catch up on some of my history. But as of recent, her health was rapidly declining. And I remember telling my wife, I have to get out there. Like, everybody was like, you know, she's going to make it. She's going to come home. And I just couldn't shake this feeling. So I got on a plane Sunday. I landed at 11:20. And literally, while we were parking in the garage, parking at the hospital, she passed. But I still went in there and did what you and I said I needed to do, which is pray over her and made peace with it. And so I'm not bitter about the 25 years that I feel like I was robbed from. I'm not bitter that I just lost her. I give God praise because he gave me 3 perfect years when he didn't have to give me anything. And she was very proud of me and will want nothing less than for me to carry on the mission. So, again, I don't judge how anybody grieves. Some people use it for fame and publicity and to clout chase and, you know, guilt trip people and all that crazy stuff, whatever. But for me, I know she would have said, keep chucking, keep charging, keep grinding. And so that's why we're here, you know, to do the mission.
She wouldn't even let us say bye. Like, she would flip. Like, don't say bye to me. Don't say bye. And I'll tell you what used to trip me out. She pronounced the last L in Kendall's name. Like, she would call him Kendall. Kendall. So she was a tough cookie, and I see that all in you. And, you know, I'm glad we found her, and you opened up and, you know, let them in. Yeah.
So, you know, we here, and part of it was because of, you know, time management. The other part was we had been talking about doing this for a while, just opening ourselves up to say, you know, we hit a lot of topics. We can't get all of the questions. We also don't necessarily topic out things that may be on your heart. Mm-hmm. So we're opening up this whole session for you to ask whatever you want to ask.
Be careful. Don't be careful.
I tell you, like I tell my wife, ask me anything you want. Just be prepared for the answer.
For the answer.
Yeah.
So, Derikas, it's your show. Don't cut up. If he start acting up, Sean, mute his mic. Just mute it.
Hey, guys.
Wait, why Derikas act so much like Dallas? Derikas and Dallas are just a Sagittarius. Hi, D.
Kendall sending condolence your way. Everybody, that's a lot of people sending that.
Yeah.
And Miss Taylor, it's the hair for me. But, yeah.
You said that. You know what? I'm sick of it.
Okay, so we want to kick this thing off. The first question, what did y'all feel was missing, lacking, or needed on social media that started the Taylor Talk?
Get them, girl.
Okay. Well, real talk, it was, you know, I always tell people, like, social media was like a new thing for me that I just was like, I don't have to do that. And the label was like, yes, you do. And it's just the new thing and everybody's doing it. And I noticed that it was like so much negativity always on social media. Even if you post a picture that day that has nothing to do with nothing, somebody's going to find something negative to say. And it was the studio. That night we were in the studio and I dropped the beat. I think it was to History. And it was just the end. It was just the beat. And we all just started rocking. I'll never forget it. And everybody started going on, be like, go back to your old sound. Go back to I don't like it. You need to do your old stuff. And I'm like, you didn't even, the song transitioned into that beat at the end, but it was a whole nother beat. You didn't hear no lyrics. You didn't hear no, and I just got so frustrated. I was like, why do we use social media as a platform to be social media murderers? Your tongue. You have to find something to say. It could be a beautiful picture. It could be a picture of a baby. And they'll go up and be like, she cute, but her mama ain't have to put her on that. You'd be like, dog. Like, have we just become people that we have to find something negative in everything that we see, in every conversation that we have? It has to be something negative. So I was like, Ken, let's just we're going to use our platform. I got 4.2 on my Instagram, and I can't remember on my Facebook. I was like, let's use ours to show all of those people that every day you have to speak positive. You have to put out good energy. You have to, you know, because if you wake up and that's the first thing you're doing is putting out negative energy, that's all you're going to receive back. It bounces back. So I decided to let's do something positive.
And on my end, I was very reluctant with social media because I'm still to this day a very private person. I believe my greatest power is in you not knowing my moves and not always sharing my thoughts. But at the same time, what I felt like was lacking on social media was real men. My only desire, my only goal for everything that I do is to show what a good man of God, a good husband, a good father, and a good leader looks like, and kind of help rewrite that narrative, because a lot of people believe in order to have power and success, you have to be unrighteous. Yeah. And then if you're a righteous and a good man and a gentleman, that you're a square. Yeah. I want to be able to show that you can have your Timbs, you can have tattoos, a nice diamond chain, and still not lose your character, still not overlook the requirements of the scriptures, and be a diligent present force in your family and in your community. So at least every male that's come across my page or my wife's page can at least say you've seen something different, because a lot of men are like myself, where we've never seen any man rock and standing as a man in an attractive way that makes us want to be like that. We want to be like everything that's negative. Yeah. And so that's what my whole demonstration is about.
We were talking about that earlier today.
Exactly. So that's why we're here.
Good. Next question. How important is the God factor in you guys' marriage?
God is not a factor. God is the focus. That's, boy.
Drop it.
That's the problem. Too many people try to factor in God. You try to make room for God. God's too big for you to make room. You honestly have to love God so much that you got to figure out how you fit in. And in order to do that, you got to get rid of all that obesity of your ego, your pride, your self-righteousness, your selfishness. God is at the center of everything, because if God was not, we would have left each other a long time ago because of our own flaws and our own fleshly things. But when you continue to chase after God and you prune and you circumcise and you cultivate yourself, you begin to see who you truly are. You begin to see who your mate truly is. And then you can have a real expectation for what your marriage is supposed to look like. So he's not a factor. He's the focus.
Man, I don't got nothing.
Appreciate it. Nice. Thanks, nice.
Do you feel fasting is still important after marriage?
Yes. We fast a lot. And I just got through doing me and Tink, I think that Tink, which is one of the sugars, she and I fast together. I think other wives should link up with other wives and do fast as well. It's very important.
Fasting is a means for you to continue to prove you still are in control.
Okay.
Not in the sense of, can't control your life. God is in control. But what fasting does, it allows you to test yourself. It allows you to prove that you are in control of your plate, what you watch on TV, your structure, and your time. So what it does is it allows you to purge and go through a detox of everything and kind of reset. So it's very important, because a lot of people think they have control. I can stop that whenever I want to. Or it's just reality TV. Oh, it's just social media. Okay, well, let it go then. Prove to yourself that you're not addicted to social media. Prove to yourself you're not addicted to cursing, to you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because a lot of times that stuff gets in your spirit, man. Certain shows that you're watching, even if you watch, shows with your mate, like you start watching that stuff and it start getting into your spirit, man. You start listening to certain things and it start getting to your spirit, man. I'll never forget when I did the 40-day fast. Golly, that's hard. I ain't gonna lie. I would like to do another one, but that was no joke. I did the Daniel fast, and it was like all vegetables, and I prayed. I had several hours, and I was strong. When we got back together, I was on my my fast, and I was telling Kendall, like, I was able to see so much. So, like, everything was so clear. Everything was my dreams were beautiful. My prayer time was amazing. That's when I opened up my eyes to see, like, go get your husband. You tripping. You're wrong. You need to switch up some things. You need to switch up your feet. So I think that when you start to fast from television, especially if you got to be home and your show come on at a certain time, if you got to fast from the radio, if you got to fast from things that you really, really like, God can begin to show you some things. Everything will be clear and pure. So it's very important what you're about to say.
And just to echo that, I think the power that was found when we took that time of separation was I was in the same place. You remember, like, you would hit me, Neek would hit me, and every Saturday we were observing the Sabbath. We were in our scriptures. Now, granted, had I chose to start going to the strip club, start entertaining other women, start getting off track, when you came back, I would have only been able to see myself. But even in that time, even though this one particular thing was the reason, I still was seeing things that I was doing wrong as well. So I couldn't withhold from you. When I saw you come with humility as your leader, I had to come with even greater humility. So it was important. It's very important what you do when you upset with your mate. It's very important what you watch, what you listen to, and who you surround yourself with, because you can get very much off track and spend a lifetime of regret for a momentary decision. So
I think it's intentional for it to be that way. That's why you have so many breakups. That's why you have so many divorces. It's the stuff like there's so many things rooted in those shows and in that music and that, you know what I mean? You can't go back because the song is still telling you to F them, forget them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's intentional. So fasting is very, very important in this house. And I would recommend that if you feel like your situation is getting cloudy, try it out. Try it out, and then the closer you become with the Father, the more you'll see things clear.
I agree.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Sometimes people move on, they get married, and they live happy lives, but the child is stuck in the middle. How do a child supposed to handle being in the middle of two parents that are often in competition?
Wait, can you say that again?
How is it? So, everybody gets married. A lot of people get married and they move on and they're not with their biological parents.
Yes.
And now you have the child that is stuck in the middle.
Okay.
And now you have a child that's stuck in the middle that feel like two parents are in competition.
The other parent, not the one that they're married to, not the new parent.
Right.
Not the new, okay.
They're biologicals.
Okay.
Actually, they're caught in the middle between their immaturity.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And it's unfortunate because I don't know your age, I don't know your situation, but you're never too young to be mature. And sometimes you can't, in that moment, depend on your parents to be mature as it relates to certain things. The only advice that I could give, because it's no one size fit all, is don't allow yourself to be used as monkey in the middle. Now, you have some children who will exploit that fact and make sure that I smooch up the pops, I smooch up the moms, get me an extra Xbox, get me an extra PlayStation over here, but it'll be to your detriment. If you really want it to be a healthy situation, you're going to have to make a decision that you're not going to be pushed and pulled. And you may find yourself in a situation where you're being the mature presence in the midst of some immaturity that's not your responsibility. It's not. And as far as parents, Scripture says, fathers, don't provoke your children to wrath. We love to be like, obey your mother and your father. But it also says, fathers, meaning mothers as well, don't provoke your children to wrath. Don't use your children as a means to get back, to gain leverage, to tip the scales. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to answer for that to God.
And I'm just going to piggyback that because I have, two kids outside of Kendall, Zion and Dallas. And Zion is now 19 years old, so it's a bit easier for her, but Dallas is 8. And not to go into too much, I know that it is difficult and it is hard for him because he goes week with me and a week with his dad. What I'm trying to install in my son is I'm trying to teach him how to pray. I'm trying to teach him how to pray. Because he's 8. I don't know how old the young person was that asked that question. And obviously you got to be of age if you're on here right now and you're typing and you're texting. You're probably, 14. Because we got to see that we have, youngest 13 that
13,
watch.
Yeah.
I'm teaching Dallas how to pray because a lot of times a child can call both of their parents up with just prayer. You know what I mean? Like, when we pray, I tell him, like, son, he'll just be looking at me, like, when I go into prayer, and he'll just be wiping my eyes, or he'll hug me, and I try to show that both my children that my prayer time, I don't let nothing get between it. They can be upstairs, and I'll be in my room, and they'll just hear me out, and I'll be like, I come out the room, I'll be like, forgive me, Mama was getting it. Mama was talking to God, but I think that you should begin to pray about certain situations for your mother and your father, right? Pray and ask God. Just have a conversation with him. Talk to him like you talk to your friends. Talk to him like you, and I promise you, God will begin to work on them and whoop them both into where they need to be.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? Because it may take a while. It may take a while for your dad. It may take a while for your mom. But God can change some things up. Begin to pray about it. That's what I'm teaching Dallas and Zion.
And the biggest takeaway I would give you, if I may, is first you forgive. The first thing you have to do is you forgive your mother and your father, not because you want to, not because it's easy, but because you need to be able to have nothing blocking your prayers to God and hindering you back. So ask God to give you the strength to forgive them, and then at that point, ask the spirit of forgiveness to work in both of them, because that's what's at work. It's nothing more than unforgiveness and all the manifestations that come from that. But if you ask God, give me the strength to forgive them, and then ask for the spirit of forgiveness to start to move inside of that disconnect, and possibly harmony can come in between at some point in time.
Good. Okay, here we go. You said you love me. You said I was perfect for you. You said you never met nobody like me before. So why do I need to compromise?
Who I like? Okay, we don't want to.
You know what I love about words? Why I read so much? Words can shape and words can destroy. Words can build a family and words can start a war. They're one of the most powerful things on earth. But the one sensitive lane is context. So there's two sides to compromise. You got compromise where you compromise your morals, your ethics, and your standards. Then you have compromise where you leave your mother and father and you cleave. In order to cleave, it kind of works like this. You'll never get here if you're trying to do like that. This is just the way I am. Accept me for the way I am. Okay, that's still rooted in selfishness and immaturity. But where marriage and compromise comes in, the right compromise is both begin to open up their understanding, both get to change their perspectives, and in there you can come together and form as one. So if we're talking about that context of compromise, you should be willing to compromise, because you can't just sit back and probably want him or her to change the way they talk, dress, move, hang with their homeboys, and you're unwilling to. So in the proper, positive sense context of compromise, compromise is necessary. We have to compromise every single day. Every day. Today, I knew she had to get her hair done at 6:30. I knew what you was thinking, even you weren't going to say nothing to me when you asked me about the veggie burger, right? So I went outside in the garage to work out. As I'm working out, God is saying, okay, she let you come out here and work out. You know at 6:30 she got to get her hair done. So the first thing I did, coming this way, and I said, babe, I'll cook dinner. I got to compromise. I can't just be like, well, you the woman and you cooked last night. No, we got to compromise so that our whole day did like this.
And you should want, like, that's, I think there's growth. You gotta grow. If he say, yo, you perfect for me, I want to marry you, I love you, everything about you is perfect, you can't expect to stay there for the rest of your life. Like what you said, you liked me here. You like the cussing. You like when I cuss like a sailor. You like what you said you like. But no. He loves you. He likes you, and he sees so much in you, or she sees so much in you. But you gotta grow and you gotta compromise when you come into a marriage or a relationship. So we talked about it last week.
In that context, don't compromise your morals. Don't compromise your faith. And your standards of respect. But as far as a lot of relationships fall because of preferences, not principles. Don't compromise on your principles, but your principles should always be up to be, revisited and readjusted. You know what I'm saying? So don't compromise your principles, but your preferences, get ready to let those go for the sake of peace.
Pretty much. I'm glad I let you cook. It's good. I tasted it. I was sneaking in the kitchen, and he was sitting right there. I was trying to go get a little, see what he did.
Well, you would have cooked. Because I know you love to cater to me, but you would have been stressed. You would have been rushing. You wouldn't look as good as you do right now.
Stop. Next question.
I was waiting on him, too. What?
Bro, I'm with you, man.
Thanks, nice. Compromise.
I love you.
Yeah.
I can sing. I can dance. I can even preach. I can direct. I have a lot of different talents. But how do I find my purpose?
I would say when you so for me, I love to sing. Like when I was a kid, I would get the brush, go in the bathroom. It was music. But I realize that I can act. You know what I'm saying? I realize that I can, I'm working on a little clothing line so I can draw. I never knew I could draw. Like all these little things that I'm starting to be like, yo, I can do that. I could do this. I could do that. But I love to sing. I think there's a true feeling that you get. Like you love to read. You love to speak. You love to DJ. I'm pretty sure you can do some other, what's some other talents that you might have? Dang, nice. You ain't got no other talent?
I can carry a note.
Man, please.
No, I really,
can you really?
I can. A little one.
Let me hear something.
No, a little one.
Sean,
I said
please.
a little one.
Well, do a little one.
Quartet over a trap beat.
Sean, do a little one.
I might break it out
Later?
tonight.
Okay, all right.
But no, I mean, I love to DJ, of course. Like, music is my love beyond everything. But I'm a drummer. Like, that's my passion. Like, I've been a drummer, all my life. So I think that is what led me to DJing. Okay. That's what led me to actually being great at blending music, because the beats are just in my head. So I can hear a song or I can hear words over any beat. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, Darius, you do hair. Is there anything else you can do? I know what you can do, but.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, but I'll say this. I do hair, but I really believe that my true purpose is dealing with women. Okay. And I think hair is leading me to my purpose. Okay. I think my purpose is to motivate, is to allow women to see their self. It leads me to my purpose. And my purpose sometimes doesn't always allow me to make money.
Thank you, bro. Because what I was great to hear and say was there's a difference between chasing your purpose and chasing profit. Okay. And when you chase profit, you'll always find many things that you can do because your talents will allow currency to be exchanged. Your purpose will find you. And so your purpose is that one thing that you do that not only fulfills you, but it blesses those around you, and you would do it even if you didn't get paid. I've been teaching and speaking for years without getting paid. I'm just now walking into that season where I'm starting to get checks and offers and so on and so forth, but I didn't do it for that reason. But it also found me. And it can be a challenging thing when you're so talented because you're like, well, what should I do? What can I do? But that one thing that is going to be cathartic and going to just inspire you and fuel you, even if you don't get paid, that's probably in the realm of your purpose. And a lot of people choose their purpose even if it doesn't provide them the financial lifestyle that they want, because they're willing to trade the house and the luxury for legacy. They're willing to substitute having all of the overflow financially to have that spiritual currency.
Yeah. You remember that time we were in, I remember like yesterday, we were in Dallas. And when we got there, the promoter didn't have the money. And a lot of people won't go on. A lot of performers will not go on. They will not perform if they don't have their money. And I remember that night, you went to the stage and you performed like you had your full money.
I sure did, because I love to sing, and I know that's my ministry. And I was telling Darius in the back, I came off crying. I did, because at that point in my life, it was happening a lot, and I was missing a lot of time with my children. At the time, I think was Dallas, or was it just Zion? Either way, I was missing time with Zion, or I'm not sure if Dallas came out in. I had bills. I had a family to take care of. And so I came off crying, but I understood that it was a God thing and I had to do it. And I loved to sing, and somebody in the audience was going to be blessed. Somebody needed that. And I gave a show. Now, I talked junk at the end. I did. And I said, all right, next time you tell these promoters, you got to stop it, because I'm sure he got paid. Right. And my grandmother used to always tell me, don't let nobody prostitute your gift. And at that point, but I remember that, D. That was a good, yeah.
So what do you love that much?
Yeah, a lot of people, this is like a good question. I think a lot of people in the world are struggling because I know people who are in tune with their purpose, they make it seem so easy. And then people are left stuck. What about me, and why have I been forgotten about, and maybe this is not my purpose, or I know sometimes people get talent and purpose mixed up. There are a lot of people who are working jobs who are not happy, and to them, because the people who are doing things, everybody makes it seem so easy, so it makes people feel left out. It makes people feel like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
I think a lot of times though they don't get to see like I told Kendall one day I want to write a book, and the title of the book was going to be called "The Richest Brokest Woman You Never Knew." Real talk, because it looked good on my Instagram and it looked good, when I was out on award shows, and it looks good, but what I was going through and what I was seeing, it wasn't good. It was a fight. So even if you're working that job and you have a dream, I'm going to say to you, it's a smart thing to continue to work your job. But when you go home, if you got a dream and you got a passion, you have a purpose, you got to get some, lose some sleep to continue to work on that after you get through with your job. Like, this has always been my job. So I was always singing, going, doing. I worked at the daycare with my grandma. You know what I mean? She had a daycare. I worked at the daycare for a little bit. But I've always been, with a mic in my hand. But it was a fight to get there. Even when I went to Idol, like, that was a fight. It wasn't just like I won. Like, it was so many different auditions and so many talented. I was just talking. What we talking about?
They
This?
don't know we ain't got enough time, but
my
like they don't know.
God.
They see the challenges you went through on stage, but some of your greatest challenges, from what you told me,
Yeah.
happened off stage, off camera, off site.
It was a lot. And here I am, this little girl from High Point, North Carolina. I ain't know nothing about none of that. I'm in Hollywood. I'm all, what is this? Like, that was a lot for me. So it's always been a fight. You just get to see us on the stage, with the lights but it's a lot. So I would say that don't be deceived by what you're looking at, and don't get so caught up in what you see. You have to stay focused. That's why that fasting thing is good sometimes, because you'll be depressed. You'll be sitting at home looking at social media during this COVID time, and everybody looking good, and you'll start envy, being very jealous or building up this hatred amongst everybody that you're seeing, and you think they're living like this, and it's not really like that. You gotta fast and shut your eyes from all of that stuff and ask God to show you how to get there. And it's gonna be a fight. My grandmother used to say, "To much is given, much is required." Like, you gotta put something in to get something out.
And that's another reason why we do this, because I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it's hard to promote God in the blessing. God stands tallest in the trial and the tribulation and the shaking and the lost and the lost times and the confusion. Most people want to get on stage and say, "I want to thank God." Half the time he's not there because he's not in what you're doing. What we're doing is we're opening up our live and letting you see what happens in between blessing and blessing. Because that's where God does his greatest work. That's where he changes your character. He moves things. He adds. He subtracts. But most people don't want to show you that. They just want to show you when I'm on the stage accepting my award. So we're coming on here showing you how real God is in our falls, in our mistakes, in our setbacks, in our crippled moments, in our disabled moments, in our paralyzed moments, because that's where God stands tallest. And most celebrities, not all, but most, are unwilling to pull back that layer because, again, they don't want to lose that God-like status. So they want to be unrighteous in their dealings, the way they treat people behind stage, even in the music that they produce, and they want to get on stage and say, "I want to thank God."
You got to be careful too, because it's several guys. So which God you thinking?
They all got that lowercase, though.
Next.
That lowercase G. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of the lights, cameras, and action, how did you two make the decision to choose family over fame?
I've always been, Dorikas, I've always been big on family. Like, I would come home and just throw the biggest parties. I just wanted to see them happy. I just want to see them smiling. Oh, man. I've always been big on family. I always say, like, if God gives me another Job moment, because I've been through a lot of Job moments.
Don't be no more of those. Yeah.
Well, if he does, I'm still, because God, we don't know what he's going to do. Sometimes he allows us to go through things because he needs us to see something that we can't see in that situation. But I always say, if I lose everything today, as long as I got my family, I'm straight. As long as I got my family, I'm good. And a lot of things have changed, and it's gotten smaller, it's gotten smaller, it's gotten smaller. But my heart and my love has always just been about family. That's it. So when I met Ken, I was about family. Y'all remember we was talking about, he came over to the 4th of July party. When he first met me, he was like, what is this? I mean, we had, did we light fireworks that night too? Like, I would go to the fireworks store and buy thousands of fireworks, food everywhere. I'm big on family.
For me, it was real easy. I'm not a celebrity. And a lot of people marry into a relationship with a celebrity or start dating, and they start to get intoxicated by that light, and they forget why they were there, and they begin to want that relationship.
Come on, man.
And most things, circles, groups, families break up because everybody's reaching for that microphone. There's one microphone in this marriage as far as entertainment. And every day I live my life with the same decision I ask myself all the time. Are you trying to make an impression, or are you trying to make impact? And that's how I guide myself. So everything that I'm doing, I was doing before I met my wife. But because of our relationship and our favor and the anointing with us coming together, I can do it on a greater level. But I'm not going to try to drop a mixtape. I'm not trying to go over here and get on the beats and start wearing my chains and start throwing up signs. And y'all go all the way back to the beginning of my page. It took me about 2 years to even give y'all a smile on Instagram.
They used to be like, why Kendall don't never smile? Like, Kendall don't like taking pictures.
I don't like taking pictures. Like the way I grew up in the streets, we ain't take no picture. We weren't flashing gun. We weren't showing you nothing. So that's the era I came up in. So no, I'm not going, unless it's what I got on today, I ain't trying to show you everything I got in my closet. Y'all won't know what car I drive. I'm not trying to show you with all due respect. I have to keep something to myself. I already got to share my wife with y'all. I already have to share certain things, because if you don't do it, you can't move the needle. But everything that I can keep private, I keep private. And that's why I didn't post my grandma. My wife asked me, because she know me, do you mind if I post? I said, yeah, go ahead. But when I tried to post my grandma, I started getting emotional. I was like, you know what? I'm keeping this to myself. I don't have to give everything to everybody. Yeah. So that's how I stay out of the way, is I will never lose sight that I'm her husband. And we co-partner. But again, that album, it'll never drop.
Well, that book gonna drop. That book gonna drop. You gonna do that book? We gonna do that book.
Oh yeah, in fact, something that's in my lane and my gift. You know, talking, speech, and teaching, guiding. But no, I'm not trying to.
I had to push you to that though.
Yo.
I had to push him. But again, like he said, this was not his thing. So it's real easy for us to fall right back into, after we get off stage, I be like, what you want to eat? What's good, boo-boo? Like, I don't bring none of that home. I don't walk around the house in like all white robes. I need white M&Ms in my dressing room. As a matter of fact, I don't need nothing in my dressing room but a speaker. And all I want to do is play his worship. Right. That's it. And some peppermint. Burn it. And I'm out of there, because I don't want to get caught up in that world. I don't want to get caught up I just want to be Tasia, Fanny. My daddy used to call me Pearl. I just want to be Pearl. I don't know why he called me Pearl.
It's a rare thing.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah. Good question.
How do you build your relationship when the other partner hasn't broken his relationship with the ex or her family?
Man, you can't. Well,
do they got kids?
Wait a minute.
Because if you don't have kids, because you have to deal with your ex to a certain extent, but it should be just on the basis of that child. If you don't have kids.
But the way can you ask that question again?
How do you build your relationship when the other partner hasn't broken his relationship with the ex or her family?
And that ain't your man.
That ain't your dude. Ain't your girl, you gotta go. Yeah. You gotta go.
Oh, that we call that love on layaway. Yeah, you got love on layaway. You know what I'm saying? It's like
let it go. I mean, he got a bond with the family too.
He pimping.
You got to go and move on.
Well, Mike Epps said he pimping since been pimping.
Yeah, what the?
That's not yours. And honestly, I'm so raw, I get in trouble sometimes. You put yourself on clearance. You know what I mean? I said something at a graduation I was speaking at. I said a good woman is like a Chanel bag. The one you really want, it never goes on sale.
Because he know I love Chanel, and them bags don't ever go on sale.
But you go into Chanel, it don't matter how bad you want this thing, they're not dropping the price. It
No.
loses value. So what you doing is you putting a red tag on your heart and you doing buy one, get one free.
Ooh.
And so he getting 2 for the price of 1.
Oh my God.
And I keep telling y'all, men are only gonna, I'm telling you, men are only gonna stretch to the standard that you set for themselves. So if you drop it down here, all he's gotta do is limbo. That's not his fault. It's yours. Put yourself back at regular price and wait for somebody who can afford the tab. Thanks, nice.
How do you deal with a partner that think they are a good communicator, but they really are not?
That's a good one. That is a good one. Because I felt like that in my marriage. I was like, nah, nuh-uh. In the beginning, Kendall just thought he just broke everything. I was like, no.
Well, to defend, to waive my right to an attorney and defend myself, I've always been a great communicator.
Yeah.
I was a horrible listener. I can communicate. I can get my point
Yeah,
across.
yeah. You're right.
But listening was the missing element that made me a great leader in my relationship.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is he or she is communicating, but they're not listening to what you're saying. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I used to tell them, like, you're not listening to me. You're not.
And the reason I couldn't, because I was emotionally weak.
Okay.
Because in order to be a good listener, you have to have enough emotional strength as a man to endure what she has to say. Everything's not a dig at your manhood. Everything's not a dig at your character. Everything's not a dig below the belt. Some things are just her giving you a peek into what you can do to get her into a place where she'll submit everything to you, which is the goal anyway. Yeah. So why try to put up a brick wall and want her to submit and lay down and cook for you and cater and all those other things, but her tank is on E? You know what I'm saying?
And I'm going to be honest now, that could have been a man asking that, because some men go through that with women.
I just only speak from, Yeah.
I saw you raise I saw you raise your hand, so I was like, well, so what part?
No, just the listening.
Okay.
Just the listening. I mean, I know my wife probably like, boy, shut up. But, I mean, that fit me to a T, man. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I ain't afraid to admit it. Like, I go off to myself. I hear everything she say. But right in that moment, nah, like I got something to say. Okay. But I hear everything she's saying. But when I go off to myself, I just replay everything she said. And I will go back to her and, let her know. But I need to get better right in that situation, right in the moment to say, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And I think that's dope. I salute you for
that's real, man.
We have to be very open and honest in our relationships, you guys. And that's the key. That's the only way I feel you'll get to where you need to be, is by being open and honest with each other and not feeling like, I got this, I'm perfect, I'm right, nothing I do is wrong. You got to be open and honest, right?
Should I be doing wifey duties as a girlfriend? Should I be doing husband duties as a boyfriend?
I'm not going to call it a duty. I'm just going to be honest. Like, if that's just, like, when I met Ken, I told y'all he was stopped up. He had bad allergies on the first date. I just noticed that he just kept blowing his nose. I was like, poor thing. What can I do to help him? So I was like,
burn my house down with eucalyptus.
I was like, the peppermint gets me through on the road. It keeps me open. I'm going to take my bottle of peppermint over there and I'm going to burn it. I remember he woke up and was like, whoa, what is that smell? But I was like, but you can breathe. So, those are things that, cooking for him. What else? Like, that's in my nature. I'm a Cancer. Yeah. I love to cater. I love to do so. I didn't look at it like I'm giving him stuff that I need you to put a ring on it. Because at the end of the day, a man ain't going to put a ring on it if he don't see that you qualify to be, you know what I mean? You think I'm wrong?
Oh, yeah, I'm just great cussing throats.
Oh, you ready to cut, huh?
I don't know how else
I'm
to do it.
learning over here tonight, though.
What I've learned because I'm so hard on myself is I get down to the root. So I will ask this question: why do you have a problem? Like I feel like the person, he or she, is trying to figure out, I'm a girlfriend, I'm a boyfriend, but I feel like I'm doing what a husband or a wife should be doing. But you already playing trampoline in the bed. So what are you withholding for in the first place? Because the way it's supposed to rock is you're supposed to court, get to know each other, temperature check, so on and so forth, get your footing to get into that place that you cross that threshold, you jump that broom. So if you already playing house, why do you have a problem feeling like you've already given too much away? Or should I be catering as a husband or a wife when you laying down like you his wife or you laying on top of her like you her husband? You might as well take out the trash, wash the dishes, and whatever the case may be. Because no, real talk, what we try to do is we try to play and put our finger in the bowl until something bites that we don't like, right?
Yep.
Your finger's in the bowl. So you have to make that decision, honestly, and we're going to move on. You already made that decision. So at this point, you've already crossed that threshold. Now it's just about, is this something sustainable that can rock for the rest of my life? Because you're already playing house.
Oof. But man, let me tell you something.
That's facts, right?
Real talk. You gave that away. That's the most important piece.
You worrying about folding some clothes? You ain't fold your legs.
Oh. Give me.
Just as something to think about.
Just
as something to think about.
Okay. Wow, yeah.
Speaking of playing house.
It's how he asked the question.
Yeah, speaking of playing house. We living together. I know what it's called. We kicking it. I've met your family. You've met my family. It's been like 5 or 6, some people 10 years. You know, I mean, we've done everything. But no rain.
I know it. Me and you just got through talking about this. You've been together with somebody for 11 years. 11, 12. And you still ain't married. Right? I think it's a lot of things. It could be a lot of things. It could be a lot of things. Because the one we were talking about was like, there's somebody I know that just settles. And, you know, so many things have happened to this person. And they know it. And we know it. And at this point, I told Derikas, I said, I don't think that's love. That's infatuation. Like, you're just infatuated with this. That's not love. That's not love. That's not love. It's like, you know they're not going to marry you. They're doing whatever they want to do. They're out in the streets doing whatever they want to do. And you keep making excuses for it. And I know, and I'm do better. But no, you're not. You're infatuated. Or you're insecure. You got some insecurities, and you don't feel like you can get better. You don't feel like you can do better. So you're just hanging on to something that don't even belong to you. Obviously, if y'all been together for 11, 12 years, and it ain't there. The chemistry is not I don't know. I got to be careful.
I really can't touch that one. Because if you've been with somebody that long, that period of time, and you guys are obviously not in agreement, because that's what marriage is we made an agreement before God. And because it was before God, it has the weight of a covenant. So obviously you're not in agreement. One person wants one thing and the other person wants another. So that is a house that is divided. It is unstable and it will never stand. So I can't give you any advice. You have to make the best decision for yourself. And I guess we'll see how you doing in another 10 years.
Not married.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Kendall, when Fantasia is on the stage and she's singing her love songs and she's taking you on a journey into her worship songs, and then she go into her hurt songs, and then she goes back into her love songs, what goes through your mind?
First of all, when my wife is on stage, it is one of the most attractive things I've ever seen. I tell her all the time when she's on stage, she's ferocious, she's fearless, she's not hesitant, she's not concerned, she is sure of who she is, and I find that very attractive. I love to walk the crowds. You know what I mean? I did it before we were partners. Now I go and I'm like, because we like, how's the show? Is it built right? Boom, 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 boom. But I'm going to just keep it G. I love the fact that she mine. I hear the dudes out there hooing and hollering and, oh my God, look at her and all the comments they make. And I just look around and look at them. That's what they supposed to do. But like, I know that she prays for me and she lifts me up. And so I'm past the point of the hurt songs because I know I've been given an opportunity to rectify that. So I just adore the fact that I know she's singing them because they're hits, but I know in her heart she doesn't feel that anymore. And I stand really tall and I feel good with that when I can pray before she goes up and when she comes off that stage and I got her towel. It's just like mission complete. I really feel like I did and I have to continue to do what God sent me in her life to do, which is to make it where they're not just songs to her. They're not present moments. You know what I'm saying? Look at that smile right there.
Stop. And I think you also like. I think you guys also know when you come to my shows. Y'all know I'm not hurt anymore either. And the way I line my show up, because I do my shows, everybody. I do the show. I'll tell them like I want to lick here, then I want you to do this, and then I want the girls to do a run here, and then so as I'm putting my show together, what I've done now is I take you through a story of where I was to where I am now. Right? I talk a lot of junk and I go into my, where would you be? Like we talk it up. We go on a journey of where I was to where I am now. And even when I'm singing them now, they're not hurt. It's not coming from like, it's not like, I think people used to know when I was hurt because it was a different type of sing. It was like, oh, and they loved me, but it was just like, oh, she is hurting. I remember somebody was like, here she go crying again. I'm like, damn it, I can't help it. But I'm glad you said that because you know now it's a different. It's yeah.
They just hits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we here. We still on live.
Oh.
Fantasia, when you're in sound check and you're on the bus and we're on tour and you got a man that's handling things and checking things and you don't have to do nothing but, you know, show up for showtime and go into glam because you got a man on the road with you that's handling things, that's checking things, and you can trust that things are being checked. How does that make you feel?
Oh my God.
Never heard that question.
Oh my God. It makes me feel so good. Like I know I'm covered and I'm protected and I know like, and it's, you know what? It's how he does it that makes me feel good because I know that he's handling everybody in that building the way I would, or even better. Because Ken is very calm. And in that time when it's showtime, like, I don't treat people rude, but I be like, okay, got to get it right. Like, we can't let that happen. And I do it in a way where I'm like, listen, I don't cuss anybody out. I don't yell at anybody. I let them know I mean business because I'm very overprotective over my baby and over Rock Soul. But Ken does it in a way where everybody comes back and be like, I just love your husband. Like, he make friends. Like, I'll never forget, shout out to Jeff Sharp. I love Jeff Sharp. Jeff Sharp didn't really rock with nobody in my life. He used to pull me to the side and be like, baby, they're no good for you, baby. I don't like them. Get rid of them. But Kendall, I would just walk out in the hallway and him and Jeff be walking, or he be in Jeff's office and they be talking, and that made me feel so good to have a man that walked the halls in his, and he was a king and he was respectful and he can make moves. Like, I was like, oh, I'm finna go out here and fly. I'm finna go out here and act a fool. Like, I didn't have to worry about that stuff anymore. And I know nobody was cheating me. I know he wasn't out there getting money under the table. I know it wasn't nobody out there selling merch that I didn't know, but he know about them. Let me stop there. I knew I had somebody that had my back. And he was legit gonna make sure everything is straight. So now I could get on the stage and just cut a rug like a freaking fool. I know that Charlie Wilson tour, like, I was off the chain. Because I was like, wait, Kendall's got we straight. And I had gotten to a point where I had a habit of asking you, what's Every time you
Every time I would come in the room or my phone ring, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And I'm like, why you do that? Like everything.
that was
good.
PTSD because I had been in that we was in so many situations where something was always wrong, or people made me feel like something was always wrong because they wanted me to depend on them and not have a voice and not have a man.
That's why this last tour was so dope, because this was the one where I said, look, we gonna both look at the budget. I want you to see how much is spent on this, how much is spent on that. Okay, this is your creation, what you want. Let's look at it so you could be happy with that number at the end of the line. And she was like, okay, well, I tell you what, we can move this, we could change this. Not, you know.
Yo, real talk, let me show y'all how humble and down I am. And it's not even because we didn't have it. It's just because I'm a tailor now, and I'll be like, yo, cut that. We don't need that. We don't need that. And to be honest with y'all, a lot of artists lose a lot of money on the road. When you see big shows and you see like all the fabulous stuff, like we lose a lot of money on that. You got to truck all of that stuff. You got to house all of those people. You got payroll. You got to feed them. It's a lot of money. Long story short, I rocked out with my whole band, which are all girls, and my singers. And I can't even lie, it was a ball. Like, we would be at the front of the bus rocking all night, just getting it. And I got a bunch of girls that rock with me that are beautiful. Shout out to Tracy, Roxy, Joy, Aji, Tink, Ria Rhea. Am I forgetting anybody? I said Tink. Ari. Yeah. That's it. All the girls. You know what I mean? So I rocked out with them. They was like, yo, you can either get another bus, but it's going to cost this much. And I told Ken, like, all my tours, I came back home broke. It's like, how am I broke? We just been selling out like arenas, and I did a meet and greets, and I was so tired, and I met everybody and loved on everybody, and like, wait, where the money at? So I thank God for my husband, because he came in and was like, whoop the whoop. And thank God for Primary Wave, because they came in and was like, yo, let me show you something. Yeah. This how you been getting got. This. And I was like, yo, I never knew that.
You have to have a balance between what you want and what you need. Yeah. You got to be able to get what you want creatively in such a way that the bottom line at the end of the tour gives you what you need. Yeah. And that's when you can say you had a successful tour. You know what I mean? And as I always state, the Regas know, even what we do together, I'm not going to house all the information. I'll be responsible. I'll help build it, design it, whatever the case may be. But I need to make sure you know it, because if something happens to me, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's
one more other thing. I didn't send my band to the arenas to be there all day, and I go to a hotel and like, chill. What I did.
What we did.
We stayed. We chilled with them at the arenas. I showered in my dressing room. Like,
you be chilling.
Yeah, like I wasn't on no like
on the bus or whatever, man. What you mean?
It was cool too. Like, it reminded me of back in the days when we used to be like gospel quartet and, you know, bus breaking down. Our bus didn't break down, but when I was in the gospel, my daddy bus broke down every time we went on the road. But we enjoyed it. Taught me something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yeah. Waffle House up. No, I'm just kidding. Waffle
House. Well, Waffle House for when y'all, we're vegan now. So why you have to bring up Waffle House? Nah, I ain't been missing me, but he just brought up Waffle House. I started thinking of T-bone steaks and fully loaded hash browns and stuff. God, I ain't got no more water. I'm steady.
Yeah. So, Fantasia, you've given us a movie, you've given us albums, you've given us concerts and tours. You're getting ready to give us your second book. Yeah. What can we expect next? And Kendall, when can we are waiting, we're patiently waiting, when can we expect these men events to start?
Woo! Good question, y'all. So for me, I'm excited about the second book, because when I did the first book, I was so young. You know what I mean? I had just one idol. And I'm excited about this book, because me and Ken can like really dig deep on some stuff that we just like. We be in the house, we be on one. So I'm excited about the book. My clothing line, I've been working on a gown line. My grandmother, her name was Addie. Addie, she put that in me, where she walked around the house in nice robes and gowns, classy stuff. And so I want to bring that back. Like, you know, Zion would always say to me, Mama, what you want for Christmas? And I'd be like, just get me a robe. But she thought that was so like a robe. I'm like, girl, yeah, a good robe. Make sure the fabric is, nice and comfy. And so I'm working on that. And God is giving me a new sound, and God has need of me musically.
Give her one of my bombs, nice. You ain't got to pay me back. The best way I can answer mine is just like this. You guys have always wanted something from my wife musically, and when she gonna do this, when she gonna do that, it has to be at the right time. It has to be in the right season. It also has to be when you're in a position of ownership. On my end, with the men thing, I told my wife the other day, I said, next year we walk into our 7th year of marriage, which is the year of perfection. And that's where all the seeds that we've sown, all the things that we have built, the foundations that we have put in place, we're going to be able to start erecting and building some things. I have to do this correctly. Reshaping a black man's mind, his perspectives, his goals, his targets is no easy thing. Everybody wants to give a black man a job. Everybody wants to give a black man a book. Everybody wants to help him get housing. But his condition just continues to circulate to every place. And that's why over hundreds and hundreds of years, we have not evolved emotionally and as far as our character. So it's no easy thing. And as I move forward with every lesson and aspect of the program, I get challenged as well, because I can't teach or lead from a place that I haven't been touched by, or I haven't mastered and overcome, because as I posted the other day, that's an intellectual trespass. So towards the end of this year, next year, it will be complete. A lot of what I do is in the prison, so you guys don't see it. But it will be coming to every man, young, old, whatever the case may be, who is ready. I'm not pulling you. I'm not begging you. I'm not chasing you. I'm not coddling you. It's about men who have a burning desire to change, but just don't know how to do it. We want to have a house where we can come and continue to grow as men, and then go back into the community with what we have had instilled in us. So it's on the way, straight up. Yeah.
And I'm his manager.
Oh yeah, she does my page and my stuff and all of that. I don't know how to do nothing on Instagram.
I'm not his manager, but I'm not his manager, but
You're my wife, aren't you?
No, I seen the king in you when I met you. I knew what you had, so I'm just pushing you to your greater, as every woman should.
Hey,
come on, somebody.
Push me, baby.
Come on, somebody. You should have played some shout music after that one.
I think we could do one more before we let Nice get on the stove.
Yeah.
That's been pretty cool.
So we're going to end it with this. I'm going to read these lyrics, and I want you both, in your own words, to tell me what these lyrics mean to you. Okay. And I don't even know if y'all would even know what song this is, but I'm going to get the lyrics. Sometimes it takes 80 moments to show you don't need the drama.
The drama?
Yes. Sometimes it takes 80 moments to show you don't need the drama.
And we're supposed to do what after that?
Tell me what these words mean to you. Sometimes it takes 80 moments to show you don't need the drama.
For me, it took 80 moments to realize that I don't need certain people in my life, that I don't need certain habits that I had adopted, and that I don't need to live and walk a certain way. You never seen somebody just keep hitting the wall, keep hitting the wall, keep hitting the wall, and it's like, we see it, but they can't see it. You have to see it for yourself. So I hope I'm answering it correctly, but I definitely know I was one of them guys when it came to the streets. Like, how many times was I going to get arrested? You know, you would think after everything that I've been through in the streets, I would have realized to get on this path much earlier, but I just kept going back. But then something finally clicked, and I realized that I don't need 81 to realize that I'm a different kind of man. And that's just what it took for me, if I'm answering your question correctly.
Did he answer that?
There's no wrong answer.
Huh?
There's no wrong answer.
I'm gonna say good for you for realizing that, because I wasn't that. It took 1,000 for me. It did, and that's why I ended up in a lot of the situations that I ended up in. So Congratulations for you on that, but it's like 1,000 for me.
99.5 won't do.
You know what song? Do you know what song I got that from?
Well, we know it.
What was that, 2 Chainz?
He ain't listening to no 2 Chainz. What was that, Dottie
Sometimes
People?
it takes 80 moments to show you don't need the drummer. Once you're high like marijuana, you won't want to hit no other. Listen to me when I tell you that without him, there would be no you. So yes, I thank my ex a little. Hold still, because without him, how would we know our love is real when I met you?
Play this. It's your song?
I was just trying to see if y'all freaking knew. I was like, I was up here like,
What, that's you? Yeah. Well, let me tell y'all something.
Wait a minute, I gotta sing the song in my head. First of all, I got a lot of songs.
Because I heard those lyrics. Listen, but y'all gotta understand, when I married my wife, one commitment I made to myself was,
You gotta play the song tonight, because I'm like, I don't remember none of that. I think he remixed that.
I'll listen to her hits, but I didn't want to go back and listen to her catalog because she wasn't singing that stuff about me. I'm for real. Yeah, I know. As soon as he said that, but it was one line in there, I was like, hold on.
Well, you know, I only sung that song like really one time, which was that tour. And then people would request it, and I was like, I ain't never, it's a lot of records, but I knew what he was talking about. Give me some of your water. He got me over here choking up. Don't embarrass me. I knew it.
Oh, I ain't know.
Oh, I hate your water, babe. That Crystal Light purple
I love it.
grape
That's that ghetto grape.
You got, how many packs you got in there?
Don't worry about it.
Golly. Dorikas, that was good.
Oh, it was good. I know.
We gotta talk after this though, because you try to put me on the spot.
They have some
So
dope
you gotta
questions
play
tonight.
that so I can know. Like I'm
No, I don't know. Yeah.
prayer. Okay.
I'll take 2 Chainz for 500.
Kendall talking about 2 Chainz. You know he don't listen to no 2 Chainz. What does he play at the shop?
Hey, it was a shot in the dark. You know what I'm
You
saying?
walk into Dorikas shop and all you gonna hear is, "Are you ready for a miracle? Oh, ready!" And he be over there like this. Are you ready for a miracle? He ain't playing no 2 Chainz. God, he just played me. I knew it though.
That was dope.
That was dope. That was good, Dorikas.
That was dope.
I'm coming with questions next Tuesday for you and Sean.
All right, we'll close in prayer and let him get on the stove.
Thank y'all for asking the questions and joining us. It was different this Tuesday because it's a lot going on. So I thank you for pulling. Sean, I thank you for always, sacrificing. It's your anniversary this week. Happy anniversary.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
And what year is this? 7. All right. The year of what?
Perfection.
That's D.
Come on.
Well, it been a road.
It's been a road.
As it should be.
I was the worst of it though. I ain't gonna lie. We keep it real on this show.
Yeah.
So, Lisa, I love you, girl.
Oh, Lisa.
Yes.
Salute to Lisa.
Oh, I got some. Meet me after this in there. I think I got
Meet
some
backstage.
Lisa on my
We're
life.
going to meet backstage.
Oh, my God.
All right. Oh, man. Give me your hand, girl. Father, we thank you as always. Just as we prayed before we came out here, you always arrive. You always speak in and through us. It's not as long as we're willing to decrease so that you may increase in us. We pray that even if our answers weren't direct or didn't hit the target, that you will supplement with your grace and mercy so that whatever void, whatever question or inquiry that they're walking around and carrying, because these are questions that are being carried inside of them, that you will help them lighten their load and remind them that your yoke is easy and your burden is light, that they can cast those cares upon you and walk away from it knowing that you will do what needs to be done in your perfect time. Continue to heal the land, heal the world, and offset all of this darkness and this evil, Heavenly Father, that has us separated, that has us outside of our normal routines, that has us disconnected from the things that we found purpose and identity in. So that hopefully one day we can come back together soon and celebrate as a nation, as a people, and as a tribe of yours. We love you. We thank you. We honor you. In Yeshua's name we pray. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. Love you, girl.
We want to thank Dorikas also
It's the word for me.
for. Oh, y'all ain't getting it. Y'all. A lot of people think that Rickens is so quiet and he be cutting up. If y'all could see what he was just doing, that was so Dallas. Thank y'all again for coming. Again, we always tell people we are not licensed to do anything. We just keeping it raw. We just keeping it real and hopes that we'll bless somebody along the way. Thank you, King. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I love you. Sean, do something to make us feel good, Sean.